Remember that night in the garden? You come down to my dressing room, you said, kid, this ain't your night. We're going for the price on Wilson. You remember that?
This ain't your night. My night. I could have taken Wilson apart, Joey. So what he gets, huh? What happens? He gets a title shot outdoors in the ballpark, and what do I get? A one-way ticket to Palookaville.
You was my brother, Charlie. You should have looked out for me a little bit. Should have took care of me just a little bit so I wouldn't have to take them dives for the short-end money.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody. Instead of a bum, which is what I am. Let's face it.
You guys ought to take another road. Whoops. You know what was interesting there is that you do a Brando circa 1954.
Vintage on the waterfront.
Exactly. But you do a late model Brando, say 1972?
The Godfather. Either way, we're talking genius here.
Here.
Bada bing.
Oh, let me get you a drink.
Hey, Jude, I thought you was out of here.
What? I miss doing Brandos? No way. But in 2 hours, boys, I'm headed home to Chicago for a real Christmas.
Speaking of which, are you coming with or not? Club Paradise, $800, and all the single women you can meet.
Well, that's it. I'm out of here. Merry Christmas, Douglas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
So?
I already told you, I'm gonna hang in town. I'm going to my mom's and I'm gonna trim the tree.
Interesting. Gonna bring Amy to meet your mom?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, sorry, I'm gonna miss that.
Watch this. Watch this.
Hey, what about you, Captain? You going back east?
Nah, I'm gonna spend a traditional Christmas watching college football players kick the hell out of each other in meaningless bowl games.
Put down a bet for me. There's no way I'll be able to watch. I got the in-laws coming. Hey, maybe I can come to your mom's house, too.
H.T. Aoki?
That's me.
I'm H.T. Aoki.
I'm Miller, Internal Affairs. This is Ms. Hogan, Immigration and Naturalization. I realize this is a bad time, but we're going to have to ask you to accompany us downtown.
Oh, better pack your bags, Aoki, just straight to Tokyo from there.
Wanna tell us what's going on?
Merry Christmas, Captain. You have reason to believe H.T. Aoki is an alias.
What are you, nuts?
And that this gentleman may have entered the country illegally and committed fraud in applying to the department.
Whoa, wait a second. He's not H.T. Aoki. You're not Harry Aoki.
No, I'm not.
So, we have this problem. He is not H.T. Aoki.
We know that.
because the computer says H.T. Aoki is deceased.
I remember that. They even paid him some death benefits.
Which he cashed.
Wouldn't you?
Turns out the computer is right. H.T. Aoki is dead. Been dead for the last 20 years.
20 years?
A few months ago, the department tied into the new Social Security mainframe in Washington. It did a routine confirmation of Social Security numbers. Look for missed digits like that. Guess who turned up deceased?
H.T. Aoki. Died December 14th, 1967, San Francisco. Then who is he?
I don't know. He won't tell me. Says he wants to talk to you first.
Okay. Who the hell are you?
All right, Harry. Let's start with an easier question. Where the hell are you from?
Vietnam.
North or south?
South.
What region?
Saigon.
What neighborhood?
Connaught Street.
Over near the embassy?
You know that's not where it is.
I meant by the Ritz.
Closer to the Central Market. At the Caravel Hotel.
Not such a good neighborhood.
We did all right.
Come in.
Captain Fuller?
Miller? Wish I could say it's a pleasure.
Well, that's the wonderful thing about internal affairs. No one's ever happy to see you. You ready to talk?
More or less.
Let me make this clear, Officer Aoki. Your best chance, department-wise, is to tell me everything right up front. The last thing you want to do is to lie. To me.
I understand.
This is David Miller. Second interview with H.T. Aoki. Captain Adam Fuller present. It's all yours, son.
My real name is Vin Van Tran. I was 14 years old in April of 1975. And I lived in Saigon. It was 5 days before the fall of the city.
Tôi đi đến tòa đại sứ Mỹ.
Họ nói thế nào?
Không thoát làm. Họ đang thử dụng nhân cư. Không ai bài rất thành hộ yếu lên. Chúng mình phải cố tình này.
Họ mất tiền gì cả. Chúng mình phải đi này.
Phải. Thùy vết con xe tôi đã rút dùn. Thùy nói xe ở Trắng Bắc.
Cô em trai của tôi thì sao? Em gái tôi và các con.
Không được cho ai biết được.
Chúng mình con để hỏi lại.
Tôi phải làm sao để...
Chúng nào Việt không ngoài vào tôi đây.
Thì chúng phải ngoài này.
Còn mẹ thì sao?
Có thể đi với chúng mình.
Chúng mình sẽ đi về đâu?
Tôi không biết. Còn không là rồi tôi lúc rồi xe phần sau.
Mẹ không đi.
Mẹ nói cái vậy.
Mẹ không muốn xa đi quê hơn.
Mẹ à, chúng mình phải đi.
Cái con biết đi về đâu.
tôi của mẹ chỉ làm sao về quá chung còn trời
mẹ à con nan ní mẹ à
mình có chia bàn cái nữa chung còn không thấy tôi ý của mẹ đó vì sao bọn chúng làm gì với mẹ đấy mẹ chỉ làm mà bà cụ ya chỉ là với hơn của mẹ sinh trưởng tại đấy mẹ sẽ chết tại nơi đấy.
The first thought I had was to find my friend Tai Q, because if we were leaving, he better know right away. There weren't really good or bad neighborhoods in Saigon. They were all bad. I mean, you could live in a big house and have money, but you still live next to people with no money. As a matter of fact, I wasn't supposed to leave the house.
Đi đâu mày? Mày biết con này của tao không? Nè, nói nó lại. Bây giờ là của tao. Tao coi mày kia, ở đằng kia kia. Ở đâu? Ở lên trên tường. Nó láo như mày. Chết kìa chưa? Không tao làm mày. Đi. Không tao làm mày.
Tai Q was a great guy, my best friend in the whole world, and he was always saving my ass. His father used to be the baker, and my mom used to send me down every morning before I went to school to pick up a loaf of bread. That's how me and Tai became friends. His dad went off to the war. Then his mom died, so he was sort of passed around from relative to relative. His dad never came back. A lot of dads never came back. Tai Q was smart. He could hustle. He was also the captain of the Starship Enterprise. I was okay, because I was the SWAT commander. I told him I was leaving, and he was cool about it. He said he'd probably be leaving too. You see, me and Tai didn't worry too much about the war. We figured Saigon was the best place to be. Besides, if the Viet Cong ever broke through the defenses, we would head over to the presidential palace where all the tanks were. They would certainly let us in. I mean, what were they gonna do? Turn away a SWAT commander and the captain of the Enterprise?
How did you guys get out?
That's where the story gets interesting.
Pretty interesting already.
So I don't get it. If you're Vin Van Tran, who's H.T. Aoki?
He's an infant who died in San Francisco 20 years ago.
That didn't take long to find out, Captain.
Let me see if I can put it together, Harry. Right before you applied to the department, you went to San Francisco and somehow got access to the death files.
Posed as a writer for a student newspaper.
Clever. Then you found a Japanese infant who died, and you stole his social security number.
Very good. Should have been a detective.
And you soon may not be.
Why'd you do that, man?
Because I didn't think a Vietnamese refugee would have a rat's chance of getting onto the department.
You're probably right.
Why didn't you just legally change your name to H.T. Aoki?
I was going to, man. I even filled out the papers right here in the chapel. Look, I didn't want to open up a whole can of worms.
Well, it's open now.
Whoa, gotta punch out. Early dinner tonight.
How are the old in-laws?
Great, they got snowed in New Jersey. See ya.
Captain, gentlemen.
Miller?
What's the damage?
Well, there's good news and there's bad news.
Tell them the good news first.
You're not suspended.
That's good.
Bad news is you're assigned to a desk pending an internal investigation, which will determine if there's going to be a review board hearing.
What's the likelihood of a hearing?
It's going to happen. Until then, you are not to interact with the public in the manner or scope of a police officer.
He knows the routine.
We got a problem, Captain?
Yeah, I think we do.
We have another session in the morning. Won't be late.
Hey, take it easy, Ioke. Look, at least you're not suspended.
Yeah, and they can't take Christmas away from you. So come on. I'll be late for Hanson's mom. With Amy. Future ex-Mrs. Hanson.
Like, why don't you guys go ahead, huh? I hate to ruin Christmas for you.
I passed up Club Paradise to see this thing through.
What are you gonna do, Harry? Walk the streets on a cold night? Desperate and lonely.
Only to find yourself drinking alone in a bar?
Hitting on some strange woman who has nowhere to go for Christmas.
Who charges you for her company? I think I saw this movie. Ioke! Or whatever your name is. It's Christmas. And Mrs. Hanson has a tree to trim.
I'd really like you to be there, Harry.
I don't know about this. It's so last minute. I didn't even get her anything.
Hey, Amy, relax. Mrs. Hanson, she introduces us to new guys all the time. Then, we help her move.
Why don't you give her this?
Great idea, but I think this little card that says left home, you'll give me away.
Yeah.
Hey, Ioke, you with us or against us?
I know. Christmas cheer.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
This is for you. Merry Christmas.
Why, thank you. That's very sweet of you.
Mine is,
Still at the store, huh?
sort of.
So, I heard about your problem with the department.
Mom!
Well, I hope we can straighten it out.
I hope so, too. What do we call you?
Harry's fine.
Can they deport you, Harry?
Mom!
It's a reasonable question. Look, Harry's fine. He's not depressed. You said he was depressed.
Isn't he cute when he's embarrassed?
I always felt the same thing. You ever see that look he gets on his face when he knew the answer to something?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that look.
Answer the question, Harry.
What question?
Can they deport you?
No. We were given immediate resident alien status. They gave us green cards right away when we got to the United States.
Yeah, here's your green card. Go open a restaurant.
Yeah, exactly.
Mom, Harry was telling us about TV over there. They watch the same shows we did.
Really?
Oh, yeah, we watch a lot of TV. The Wild Wild West, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, Combat.
They ran combat on TV in Vietnam?
Oh, yeah. It was a big hit. Then the war started coming to us live and in person.
Trung文社貴漢飽聖心，光臨啦都食煎海寶的。Vinh, nhà bạn nữa đi. Con không được nói với ai hết. Con hiểu rõ không?
Dạ, con hiểu. I could have gotten in a lot of trouble for this. But what the hell was my father gonna do? Leave me behind? My mood changed pretty quick, though, when Taikyu told me his relatives were staying. Thôi mà, nói thiệt á, sáng ngày mai nè, gia đình ta sẽ đi sớm lắm. Không sao đâu mới được. Mày sẽ ráng được, nghĩ cách nào đi đi. When I said goodbye to Taikyu the night before, I knew it wouldn't be the last time I saw him. No way. He was too good.
think?
I think it's the most unusual case I've ever been involved in.
What's gonna happen to me?
A lot in your application to the department that's cause for immediate dismissal.
I know that. I want to know what my chances are. What do you think they'd do at the hearing?
I have no opinion. I gather facts. Something you should be asking your lawyer.
Captain Fuller? Jeffrey Leibster.
Nice to meet you, Leibster.
I'm H.T. Aoki.
Pleasure to meet you. You're quite a celebrity downtown.
Thanks, yes.
Listen, it can't hurt. A high profile puts more pressure on the review board to avoid an unpopular decision.
Leibster's department defended me on the drunk driving charge.
Yeah, I remember. How are you guys on fraud?
I guess we're going to find out, huh? I'm going to need the officer's complete packet.
No problem.
I read the transcripts of your interviews with the headhunters. It's quite a story.
I hope the review board appreciates it.
A lot will be riding on the testimony. Plus, of course, a recommendation from your commanding officer.
Thanks for the support, Captain.
I'll do what I think is right.
Feeling there's more going on here than you being upset because I lied on a piece of paper?
Maybe.
I would have thought you, of all people, Captain, would understand where I'm coming from.
Oh, I understand where you're coming from. I spent 13 months there. The problem is I don't know who you are. We didn't know who you were then, and I still don't know who you are now.
Then maybe you should think about what happened to us when you people pull out.
Ê, mày tới rồi. Dạ nữa cô bộ mà.
Ba má tao đang đi kiếm hành lý.
Ồ, tao đó là ổ đằng kia kìa.
Tao phải đi nha, tại vì cái ông bà bô sắp tới rồi.
Exhausted when I got to the boat. It was hard to climb the rope ladder. I thought for sure my parents had made it. It was a big boat. We looked for several hours and they weren't there. Made it off the beach. Where's the boat going? Guam. It's the first time I've ever been on a boat, you know? My parents were dead, and Taikyu was dead. You see, the food situation was pretty bad. It was like having 150 people show up for dinner on a Tuesday. It was like this for days, man. I mean, you'd be in line for 2 or 3 hours. Then I got an idea. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I had picked up some English, mostly from a sailor on the boat.
How you doing? What's your name? Your name?
Vin Van Tran.
Hey, Vinny. My name's McKay. McKay.
McKay?
Yeah.
McKay.
Nice meeting you.
Corporal McKay had a kind face. I wanted to be his friend. But what I really wanted was a job. No more waiting in line. I was the line. It was fun for a while. Then it became work. I got tired, but I knew I was on track. I had started thinking like Q. I had to think fast because more people were arriving every day. We were running out of food. No one was prepared for this.
Hey, sport. How you doing?
Doing good, McKay.
Good.
Question.
Fire away.
You have food?
Thanks, I already ate in full.
Come. Come. Come.
Wait a minute, where are we going? Still hungry? I've been eating on the line all day.
Hungry.
Who? Who's hungry? Whoa, 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 wait a minute. Forget it. Look, I could get in a lot of trouble for this. You're not even supposed to be out here. Come on, give me a break, huh?
Please.
Look, you hide this. Hide?
Hide.
Hide, exactly.
Hide. I could feed the people in my tent. I was a hero. But all I could think about was my mom and dad, and about Q.
Harry, are you okay?
Yeah. I'm okay. I just thought that I'd put all of this out of my mind, you know? Put Q out of my mind.
You feel guilty, huh?
Yeah, whenever I think about it.
Harry, he made a choice.
But if it wasn't for me, Jude...
If it wasn't for you, Harry, he'd still be in Vietnam. Like, you know what went on there after the Kong took over. What kind of life do you think he would have had?
At least he would have been alive to live it, okay? Look, I'm sorry. So, I didn't mean to ask about you. How was your trip?
Oh, great trip. great. There's no snow, but there's plenty of rain. My parents are fighting. I think I've caught a cold. And my best friend's getting divorced after only 2 years of marriage. But other than that, it's been a blast.
It's good.
Yeah?
Thanks for calling.
Come in.
Can we talk?
Sure. Close that door.
It's about Harry.
What about him?
He's pretty freaked out about this thing.
Yeah, I know.
Well, what are you gonna do about it?
Well, what do you think I should do, Hanson?
You think you ought to show him a little support?
After he lied to me?
He didn't lie to you.
You're right. He lied to all of us.
You know what I mean. I think there's more to it.
Meaning?
Meaning, I don't know. Meaning, there's something else going on here. I don't know. Something went on over there.
Bingo. A war went on over there.
Harry was not the enemy.
Oh, no? And what do you know about it, Hanson? I figure you were about 4 years old when I was shipped over there.
I know that we were fighting the Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese.
We were fighting everybody. The only people on our side were us.
That's bull.
Let me tell you something, Hanson. Everybody's got a story about the war. Mine's about a buddy that lived through 2 tours. 22 months. Sergeant Reggie Peterson from Roanoke, Virginia. Reggie saved my butt a couple of times. We're coming out of a cafe one day in Saigon. This is toward the end of the war. Reggie goes across the street to get the Jeep, while I go over to a stand to get cigarettes. Next thing I hear is the Jeep exploding. 14-year-old kid is running down the street. He'd rolled a grenade under the Jeep. I chased him. I couldn't find him.
That has nothing to do with H.T. Aoki or who he is now. I don't care if he changed his name. I don't care if he lied to the world. He did it for a good reason. Do you know how many Vietnamese native officers we have in this department?
How many?
1. Now.
I went from Guam to Fort Chaffee, Arkansas. From there, I was sponsored out by a Methodist church in St. Louis, Missouri. It didn't take long for me to get sponsored because I had no mother and father. I went to live with a woman named Bessie Mason. Mrs. Mason had a big old house, and all her children were grown up and had children of their own. At first, I called her Mrs. Mason. Then she became Grandma Bessie.
How are you ever going to learn English watching policemen shoot at each other?
I like this program.
You're going to like this one better.
Now, I must have been the only 14-year-old in the world who had to watch Sesame Street. I was the first Vietnamese person in St. Louis. I went to high school there. Did pretty good once I learned English.
10Q. I couldn't hear you, Bert. 10Q, 10Q, 10Q. You're welcome, Bert.
I had started thinking about my future. And right then and there, I knew what I wanted to do for a living. After graduation, I came here. I had taken a trip to San Francisco and found a new name, which you know all about. I didn't think a Vietnamese refugee would have a very good chance of getting into the department. Anyway, I was accepted as H.T. Aoki and went through the academy. I finished in the top 5% of my class. I was then assigned to the Jump Street program under Captain Janko.
Thank you, officer. What Officer Aoki has left out of the story is the next 4 years of exemplary work in the line of duty, a near-perfect jacket, and 3 commendations. And he's part of a unique undercover program. Moral issues of the war in Vietnam aside, the people of Vinh Van Tran's country have suffered plenty. Yes. He lied on his application. Yes, that is cause for dismissal. But let's face the truth, gentlemen. This police department has 2 discrimination suits pending right at this moment. We don't have an exemplary record in that area. H.T. Aoki had no real criminal intent. Fundamental in how we determine what is a crime. He had no intent to harm, but rather an intent to serve the public. I'd like to call Captain Adam Fuller. Captain, do you have a statement you wish to make to the review board?
Yes, I do. When an officer thinks he's done right, and then suffers the full force of government coming down on him, it's a pretty terrifying thing. I understand what he's going through, and have sympathy for him. H.T. Aoki is a very good police officer. He has my full recommendation and support, and I implore you to allow him to stay in this department. You recognize this, Harry?
Yeah, this is one of my name change applications. Where did you find it?
It was in Captain Janko's old file cabinet. Found it last night.
No kidding.
Apparently he stamped it and filed it away before he died.
Okay, so, what does this mean?
Well, it means we have one more piece of evidence for the review board.
This just might pull your head right off the chopping block.
Really?
Really. Demonstrates the officer's willingness to correct the original application. I'm going to submit it right now. They're not due for a decision till tomorrow.
That's great.
Aoki, you're as good as back. Give me the $10 you owe me.
Well, guys, happy ho, ho, ho.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Congratulations, Harry.
Thanks, Captain.
You guys want to give us a minute here?
Sure.
Look, Harry, I just wanted to tell you that
Well, I would have done exactly the same thing you did if the circumstances were reversed.
I appreciate it.
I was somewhere I didn't want to be. And I had no control over it.
I was forced to go somewhere I didn't want to go. I guess I had no control over it either.
At least I had somewhere to go back to.
I guess, we're just a couple of victims, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. Don't you guys have some work to do?
Hey, relax, Captain. It's Christmas. All the kids are out of school. Whatever crimes they're committing in Florida.
Yes, yes, yes! Now, turn in your uniform. Yeah, come in.
Got enough, Coach?
Sure.
Now, I'm not one to be cynical, Captain, but, a Christmas miracle?
Well, yeah. These things happen. This time of year.
A 2-year-old piece of paper from the bottom of Aoki's drawer winds up in Jenko's old file cabinet.
Why not?
Because Jenko never filed a thing in his life.
Well, maybe he's filing things now.
Sal, you work at the chapel?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Oh, you're the...
I'm a maintenance engineer.
All right.
Sal's licensed to work at a nuclear power plant.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for an opening.
I'll get it this time.
I'll go with you.
I remember when Tommy was that age. I must have gone through 3 sets of dishes before we went plastic.
My kids can shatter plastic.
All right, that's enough. Knock it off!
Very effective.
Watch it!
Quite a little circus you got there, Sal.
They just love getting out of the house.
So do I.
I like to make a toast. I just think that it's great that we all here together to share the holidays. And I like to make a toast to the family.
To all of us. However we got here.
To thank you. Never did get here.
To Reggie Peterson of Roanoke, Virginia.
And to everyone else we left over.